Minnesota Vikings fans are very familiar with the "this is the year" mantra. Of course, every single year, this is the year to finally shake off the curse of blah, 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 Super Bowls, blah, 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 whatever. This is the year that Adrian becomes a receiver. But also, this is the year that Jaleel Johnson breaks out. Yeah, the slate is wiped clean, essentially at defensive tackle. Will the former Hawkeye finally work things out? I'm hopeful. So let's talk about it today. So, quick background, Jaleel, fourth-year defensive tackle, former fourth-round pick out of Iowa 2017, had 7.5 sacks, 10 tackles for loss his senior year in Iowa City, and I was excited. I mean, frankly, when he was drafted, I was thinking, all right, so here is the Sharif Floyd replacement. Here's a guy who's going to operate next to Linval Joseph for many years to come, because he played a lot of three-tech at Iowa, and also he did have this nice slipperiness. I guess he was a decent penetrator, pretty solid against the run as well. So overall, I was pretty hyped about Jaleel Johnson and his future. And then he only played 61 snaps as a rookie, so I was like, okay, sure. Year two, he developed a little bit more. You could actually make the case that Jaleel probably had one of the better camps in 2019. 2018. In terms of improving his technique, they had him playing a little bit of three tech, a little bit of nose tackle as well. Had an extremely solid preseason, and you're like, all right, here we go, off to the races. And then, okay, usage certainly increased. Was a rotational contributor, playing in all 16 games. Played 171 snaps at three tech, 83 snaps at nose tackle. Did have 7 pressures, as well as recorded his first career sack against the Jets that year. So it's like, all right, so still easing his way in. Year 3 is going to go boom. It's going to go kaboom. Jaleel Johnson, year 3, boom. All right, so 2019, I mean, it wasn't a boom, but it was a bleh. It was a little bit, right? So year 3, career high in snaps, 433, which is playing roughly about 40% of the defensive snaps. Tackles, career high in tackles, 29, career high in pressures with 11, as well as career high in sacks with 3.5. So we're like, all right, we're intrigued. Let's see what happens in year 4. I don't think. Last year, he played 133 snaps at nose tackle, 271 at three tech, and even played 26 at defensive end. So they're using him all over the place as this sort of hybrid defensive tackle. Yet again, it does seem like Patterson is starting to trust him more and more in year 3. So I'm really hopeful that some of that potential is finally going to come home to roost, finally shine through in 2020. So what's going to happen this year, right? So year 4, contract year, important year for Jaleel Johnson. Linval's gone. Michael Pierce is in, but I mean, that's fine. I don't think that the skill set necessarily overlaps with Jaleel Johnson and Michael Pierce. I always thought that even though they tried to make him into like a poor man's Shamar Stephen, even though Stephen was a 7th round pick, Jaleel was a 4th round pick, I always thought that he was better as a 3 tech or an under tackle or whatever. Not so much the nose. I don't think he necessarily has the size to be an every down nose, but a 3 tech, that competition is still as wide open as it was last year. I mean, Patterson still loves Shamar Stephen, the big fundamental, respect. But also, you look at time on the team, Jaleel Johnson is the second eldest statesman in terms of defensive tackle. So he's got that going on for him, which is nice. And also, would it really shock anyone if Jaleel opens up as the week 1 starting 3 tech, at least in terms of early down work, a.k.a. what Shamar Stephen did last year? I mean, probably not. I mean, for whatever reason, they won't get Armon Watts the time of day. James Lynch coming in as a rookie. I think he will impress, but as training camp and preseason shrinks, I think right out of the gates, it may be a little bit tough to handle. So I think that opportunities will go to the veterans, will go to the incumbents. And frankly, I still think Shamar Stephen could be a cap casualty just because of all the young talent on the defensive line, especially the defensive tackle that they may want to hang on to. So it would be Jaleel. It would be Jaleel Johnson, Michael Pierce starting week 1. I mean, it would be nice if Jaleel earned it for sure and not just won it by default. It wouldn't really shock me that much because I've been hard on the last 3 years, mainly because I want him to be great. Do see a lot of potential there with Jaleel Johnson. It's the same reason why we've been so hard on Pat Elflein. Because remember, a couple of years ago, back in the day, I was all in on the Pat Elflein train. It's like, this is going to be the next great pivot man. Man, did I look like a horse's ass. But Jaleel Johnson, you're just starting to see that spark. He didn't get the time of day his rookie year. Sort of met his second year. Third year starting to show some potential. I think year 4 could finally be boom. Just in time for him to sign a big free agent contract somewhere else. Because that's how things go with the Vikings. But it is a crowded defensive tackle room because you got Pierce, Oh, Pierce is a lock to make the team, but then you got Stephen, Watts, Lynch, Hercules, Jalen Holmes, and Jaleel Johnson. So I think if they do axe Shamar Stephen just as a cap casualty move, hang on to the young kids, and Jaleel Johnson is now the veteran leader group of the defensive tackles who's been the Vikings before. I mean, he's got a shot. So I'm hopeful. I'm just like, Hawkeye, year 4, get together, get your bow and arrow. Come on, Hawkeye. Let's go. He's the worst Avenger, though, by the way. By far. Yeah. All right, so your thoughts. Jaleel Johnson, year 4. He had it for some more. Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work, pull us on the Venmo. But until next time, Skull, production value.